The Monkey is a 2025 horror film directed by Osgood Perkins and based on a short story written by Stephen King. The film tells the story of Billy and Hal, two twin brothers that discover this monkey toy wind-up doll that's inside their father's closet. Their father disappeared one day after going out to get a pack of cigarettes, and the only memories the boys have of their father is everything that he's kept in this closet. Hence, they start searching through it one day and they find this toy, and they discover that this toy is more than just a toy, as anytime they wind it up, somebody around them dies. In the weirdest or coolest way possible. After people start dying around them, the boys end up living with their uncle and aunt, and then when they figure out that the doll's responsible for all the deaths, they decide to get rid of it, only for it to resurface 25 years later, and now Hal has to deal with the ramifications of this doll entering back into his life while he has a son that's trying to get to know him. And that's the gist of the film, pretty much. Now, I did read the short story by Stephen King a while ago, and I was kind of anticipating this movie because I've read the short story and the trailer looked really good for this. And I'm a big fan of Osgood Perkins films, both of them. Longlegs I really enjoy, and as well as The Black Coat's Daughter. Now, this movie I wanted to see how it was going to be because it's not his typical type of films, and this one I have mixed feelings about. Like I said, I read the short story, and I was also wondering how he was going to be able to make this movie better than the short story, because the short story is really not that great, to be quite honest with you. He does use elements from the story in the film, and a lot of things. He does change a lot of things because Osgood Perkins also wrote this. He also changed a lot of things. The monkey in the book uses two symbols, and he clashes them together, and that's when people die. And I don't think there's a wind-up feature in the actual short story, so that's the difference there. In this film, it has to be wound by somebody, and then when somebody winds it, it goes off, and somebody around it dies. I also believe in the book, Bill is mentioned a little bit, and then when he's older, then he's not mentioned anymore. In the book, Hal also has a wife and two kids, and also in the book, they're not twins. I believe Billy and Hal are actually, Hal is the younger brother, and Bill is the older brother, but like a few years. And also he has two kids that are age difference as well. He gets into a fight with one of his kids, but one of his other sons goes with him, Petey, to get rid of this doll, or this monkey in the book. In the film, he has a son that he's not very close to. He's been keeping a distance from him because everyone's always died anywhere around him, and he kind of doesn't want to get close to people too much for something bad to happen, because he just figures something bad will happen, and he has a miserable life. I believe in the book, he did lose his job technically, but got a different job that paid a little bit less, but he wasn't doing as bad as he is in the movie. But nonetheless, there's obviously a lot of differences, specifically how the film ends. The book really is terrible with how it ends, and I was wondering how they were going to do it here, and they take a totally different turn where there's another villain in this movie. But all in all, let's just talk about the positives I like about this film. I think the deaths are really cool. I really do like that about this film. I think it's directed fairly well. I think Osgood Perkins is a really good director. Now, does the film live up to my expectations? Yes and no. Yes, because it's better than the book, and I do like a lot of the kills in this. I think they were awesome. Some of them are ridiculous and look ridiculous, and I do like the ending of this much better than the book. Like the very end, it was really good. That's an Osgood Perkins type ending, so he manages to put his touches onto this. And what I mean by that is like Osgood Perkins films are really about demonic entities and demons and things like that, and this movie kind of gets put in that category with what happens at the end of the film, which I thought was cool. I like the ending of this film. It kind of is reminiscent of a Mist type ending as well, but it's but not like that graphic and not that depressing. It has a little bit spark of hope in a way, but there's a lot of darkness into this. This doesn't live up to my expectations in another regard, as it doesn't feel like an Osgood Perkins film, even though it's well made and it's well written. It's decently well written, I believe. I don't like his sense of humor, I guess, Osgood Perkins, because this is more of a comedy type of horror film in a sense. There's a lot of comedic elements into this, although some of the killings that are comedic I think are great, but it's just there's something about it that I'm not connecting with. That's all I could say pretty much. I think, like I said, the kills are cool. I think as so much of the third act and the villain also, the way there is another villain in this movie, and besides the monkey, and that I thought his motivations were stupid. It makes sense, but it's stupid, and the resolution is stupid. But that's the problem I have with the movie. Other than that, I do enjoy this film, but that's gonna be the downer. And I do want to rewatch this movie. So that's a positive aspect. Like, it's good enough that I do want to rewatch it again. So yeah, I'm gonna try to be fair enough, because the people I saw in the theater with, they really enjoyed the movie. It seemed like I enjoyed it, but there are parts also. I think the whole priest. There's a scene at the funeral that I didn't like at all, and it was it was trying to be too funny, and the comedy just didn't hit for me. And every character was just like, it felt like a Marvel film. Like, every character had to be funny, and I don't know. It was just, that's the problem I have with the movie. But I liked it, so it's hard. I'm gonna give this 3 out of 5 stars. I think I'm being fair. I think that's probably low. I know people probably love this movie a lot, but hey, what can I say? My least favorite Osgood Perkins film. I do think older Hal and young Hal do a great job in the film. I think the relationship between Hal and Petey is done better in this than it is actually done in the book, and I think it is superior to the short story, very much so. And I like the way the movie opened, and I thought it was cool. But like I said, there's certain things I don't like, and so I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Yeah, so let me know in the comment section down below if you saw The Monkey, what you thought about it. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and I will talk to you guys next time. Peace.